So, amazingly interesting story right here. We've got an old gold mine there straight ahead, and then in front of us we're sitting in the overburden pit or pile, the extra stuff that they used. And because of the Surface Mine Reclamation Act and the Conservation Department at the state level, they have to restore this. And Shell owned this, and they're very responsible, sustainable mining. And they've restored this pile here very, very well. This is not even 10 years old. Then on the other hand, we have a land use over here that we start to see that is not controlled like that and is basically following the incentives and sort of like we call kind of pioneer days. So they aren't required to do that because there is no regulation like the Surface Mine Reclamation Act or SMARA. And so consequently, if you look over at this the solar development over here, these are PV panels set low to the ground. They are basically totally bare underneath them. So they're environmentally a nightmare. The sand blow, the dust, valley fever potentially, loss of habitat. You can see it's a very, very large area. And quite frankly, it's mostly because they're on private land, and that means that they only have to meet the standard of what the county has in place, which in this case would be LA County. So it's a rural living zoning, and they just have to meet that standard, which they've been caught unawares. Nobody's problem, but they've been caught unawares. So that's why in San Bernardino County, we're desperately trying to work with Spark, their renewable energy planning process, to make sure that best practices are put in place, that we know if we have to even destroy that land. If we had high towers for these solar panels, we probably wouldn't even have to have destroyed all this native vegetation, which by the way changes the amount of carbon that's sequestrated into the soil and plants by 50%. But we wouldn't even have to have done that because there would have been proper standards, proper implementation of the policy. And so that's why the local people are saying, you know, a distributed power closer to the point of use in LA and on rooftops where it can be controlled better and it doesn't cause this kind of destruction, unnecessary destruction, by the way, is the way to go.